Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for the second Alliance War of Season 39. So today GT40 is facing DSVG, and I've got a team of Nick Fury, Dr. Doom and Symbiote Supreme. So the earlier part of this war is going to be mainly focused on Nick Fury. Later on, got a lot of Dr. Doom fights, and then we have Symbiote Supreme versus a Knull boss, which is going to be quite an interesting fight, and does not exactly go how I was expecting it to, so should be quite a fun one. But to start off, we've got Nick Fury against Path 4 in Section 1. First fight is against Invisible Woman. We've got maxed out Deep Wounds here. Nick Fury, when he heavies or special ones, is going to get that Fury from the node. So this is not really a difficult fight at all, there's not a whole lot to it. The bleed is going to make Invisible Woman's invisibility really low threat overall. And yeah, this is about as simple as a war fight can realistically get. So yeah. She goes down in around a minute, which probably could have done that a lot faster, but doesn't really matter in the end. Second fight is against Titania, so this has, I believe it's long distance relationship, and also Fury when she gets 3 debuffs on you, and insult to injury, which means whenever a debuff is on you it's going to decrease your ability accuracy. So basically I just need to be careful on my parries in this fight and make sure they're all landing. But yeah, just like the fight before, heavies, special attacks, just knocking her down in general, is going to give me that Fury buff, and that is just going to make this fight really fast and easy. And in my opinion, you really should not place 2 science champions or 2 champions that someone like Nick Fury or Mormine can take on that path in a row. You should try and split the options or just place 1 champion there. But yeah, I'll take it. Nick Fury will destroy that path. Next fight up is going to be a Thing, Unknown 19. So I've got a White Magneto pre-fight on this matchup, and yeah, basically it's going to be a relatively long fight, but it's also a relatively simple one. You can use the bleeds to lower the rock stacks. White Magneto pre-fight to get the easy knockdowns. It's going to be around a 2-minute fight, I believe this takes, but yeah, it is a relatively simple fight, and it is also a safe fight. I'm pretty good on the spacing with both Thing Special 1 and Special 2 in terms of the heavy counter, so I'm going to be going for those most of the time if I need to get the heavy counter for the Everflow knockdown. And yeah, other than that, there's really not a whole lot to this. I'll be using my Special Freeze because the Special Freeze are not reduced by protection as long as it's not active when you throw it. Whereas the Special 2, if the first hit crits, the other 2 hits are going to be blocked by protection. And yeah, you're going to see, I believe this Special Free does around 15% of his health, which is a relatively significant portion given this matchup. And yeah, it's going to go on for a little bit longer than this, but it's a really safe and relatively simple fight. So yeah, I'll just let this play out. Here we just hit into his block to push into 15 rock stacks. I believe that is the first time in the whole fight that he managed to get to 15. So yeah, as long as you manage it properly with Nick Fury, it's a very safe fight. And yeah, he goes down, it takes around 2 minutes, which is relatively slow, but it's not too bad overall. Next fight up, we are going up against a Vision Arcus on their 22. So I'm going to wait for my alliance mate to put a White Magneto pre-fight here, and we're going to be using Dr. Doom. So obviously Dr. Doom is Incinerate to Shock, but not the Incinerate. So we're mainly going to be attacking just during the incinerate phase here. And yeah, this fight is mainly going to be a case of build up to my special 3. Nuking once I've got that Fury active. But until then, I'm going to be playing quite passive. And yeah, like Dr. Doom versus Vision Arcus, there's not really a way to die in this matchup. Like, you'd have to really mess up quite badly to die here. So yeah. During the incinerate phase, if I want to keep the prowess low or keep some spacing, I'll mainly be going for heavies, like 1 or 2 attacks, because I don't want to take too much damage from that incinerate. Arcus is a tactic defender, so he is going to be placing that on, I believe it's the unsteady debuff when he throws a special, which is going to cause me to glance all of my hits while it's active. So he's in incinerate phase. I'm going to wait it out, and then I'll go for my special 3. And at this point, the fight is essentially just over. Vision is about to swap into the shock phase, and it's Doom versus Vision Arcus, so it's about as dominant as a matchup can go. I've got Mystic Boost active, 5 out of 5 mid dispersion, and yeah, we're just going to keep spamming special 2s. Special 2 again. Does end up throwing a special 3 here, but I've got the invulnerability boost on. Even if I didn't, this probably wouldn't have done more than like 15 or 20% just because Doom is so tanky. But yeah, at this point the fight is over. Really safe matchup, and yeah, it's pretty much just a case of building up to your special 2 or whatever during the shock phase, and it's safe. And we finish on 4 yellow bar. So next up we've got Nick Fury on node 23. I took this last war if you watched the TCM war video. This fighter is not going to be an idiot with his AI and throw random special ones, but yeah. Doom, he's a really safe matchup here, as long as you know what you're doing. If you can manage tactical charges, you can manage bubble shield, he's a really safe matchup. And yeah, not too much to it really, it's mainly just a case of make sure he's getting pushed to his special 2. See here we just delay hits to make sure that we can apply the shock, get him up to special 2 with the heavy attack. And yeah, like, it's going to take a couple of minutes to take down, but it's a really safe matchup, and the only way you can die is if you take a couple of light ending combos. So yeah, I'll just let this one play out. And if you want a description on how I'm playing it, you can watch the last war video versus TCM, where I explain the fight completely. So notice here I've got 10 bubble shield charges. So the next attack that I trigger dexterity on is going to trigger that unblockable. And during this fight I basically just needed to keep in my mind at this point that I really need to make sure that I trigger dexterity on the next attack Nick Fury throws into my block rather than try and block it. There we just go for an intercept into special 1 anyway. I believe here I trigger dexterity, yeah, and you'll notice that attack is unblockable. Managed to get off this special 2 with 2 Furies active, and at this point the fight is over. And this was a really, really clean fight against Nick 23, finish on 98%. As long as you know what you're doing, Doom is a really safe matchup there. Next up is Scorpion on node 24 with Nick Fury. I ended up turning out dexterity this fight, and this is pretty much as simple as it gets. I just want to kill him as quickly as possible. Without dexterity active, buffet and vigorous assault can't trigger. And yeah, Scorpion, he's got a relatively low health pool. I've got rank 4 Nick Fury with relatively heavy boosts, maximum deep wounds. And yeah, he goes down without even throwing the special in around 25 seconds, so yeah, 23-second fight. Really about as simple as it gets. So the next two fights I'm only using medium boost rather than big boosts, even though they're always relatively close, just because I wanted to get a few fights down to increase the fight count and increase the pressure on DSVG. And these next two fights are really simple. So this is Nick Fury versus Negative on path 3. Basically no nodes here because Mr. Negative does not gain any armor ups. Heavy attacks are basically just going to mean that I deal with less inverted controls. But yeah, there really is not anything complicated in this fight. Here I miss a special 1 dex, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to push me close to second life anyway. And this is my last Nick Fury fight of the war. So yeah, this is basically as simple and as generic as it gets. There's pretty much no way that I was ever going to die on this matchup, so yeah, just let this play out. Next up is Doom versus Silver Surfer on node 46, and yeah, this is just another one of those really, really simple matchups. I've got 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion. Doom is essentially going to ignore the nodes just through having so much control and power gain over on the fight, so yeah, I'll just let this one play out as well. There's really not a whole lot to it. And yeah, that is just why I really like Doom. You miss a Silver Surfer special 1 dex and you lose 3% health. It's like, the chances of dying to him in 90% of matchups are almost zero just because he's so tanky like that. And yeah, we've got to the special 3 at this point, and that pretty much just means the fight is over. So now we're moving on to the final 3 fights of the war, and this is like the main danger point of the war. This next fight up, which is Long Shot on node 51, is probably the fight I was most worried about this war. So I've done this fight probably around 10 times before, but every single time before this I've had a White Magneto pre-fight. This war it would not fit, which means that this fight is going to be significantly more risky. So at the start of the fight you'll see I'm just trying to stop him from gaining much power. There I should have dashed in mid special 1, punish his special 1. And now he's at his special 2. Managed to drain him, but I'm going to make quite a significant mistake pretty soon. And that is here. I should have pushed him straight to his special 3, eaten the special 3 and been fine. Because I've got the invulnerability boost here. Luckily, he doesn't throw his special 2 while Pure of Heart is active. But that was an unnecessary risk. If I pushed him straight to his special 3, he would have used it, just like he is now. I've got my invulnerability boost on. I'd have very safely got to my special 3. However, I basically gave him a chance to throw a Pure of Heart special 2, which is the main way you're going to die in this fight. Luckily he didn't, and at this point, now that I've got my special 3, the fight is over. But if I'm ever taking this fight in the future, I need to make sure he does not get any chance to throw that Pure of Heart special 2. Now he's not really going to get any opportunity to use a special 2 again, so as long as I don't completely screw up and need to combo or anything, I should be fine. I checked before I went into the fight, the long shot is Sig 100 I believe, so he has a round of 1 in 3 chance of purifying my Fury on the special 3. Here we get it to stick, and that is just going to speed the fight up quite a bit. When I use my special 1, he doesn't get it to his special 2. And yeah, at this point the fight is over. I just need to repeat this cycle a couple of times. probably could have used special 2 there and finished it off, but rather just play it safe and go straight to the special 3 again and not give him the slightest chance to use a Pure of Heart special 2. This special 3, I believe the second Fury sticks, and that ends up killing him rather than dealing 10 to 11% like the single Fury special 3s did. The next fight up is going to be a Mangog on Note 54. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you've probably seen this fight like 20 times or something. It's not the ideal matchup just because there is some factor of RNG on whether or not Mangog throws his special 2. However, it's such an uncommon occurrence that he'll throw it, and to kill Doom with an invulnerability boost active, he needs to do it twice. So it's a relatively safe matchup, even though Magic or Spider-Man 99 is better. And yeah, basically it's just get a double Fury cycle going without him using his special 2, and that's about it. I'll just let this play out because it's around a 2-minute fight, but it's a really basic Doom fight. You'll notice that after the special 3, I go for, believe it's medium, medium, light, light, medium, medium. And that is essentially just to reduce the amount of times that Mangog is crossing over a bar of power, which will reduce the amount of aspect of evolution, power gain, and block penetration and everything that he gets. And that is just how I usually play this fight. Rank 4 Doom with the medium triple light heavy combo while he's at 2 bars against this fight will always get to the special 3. And that is why I do believe rank 4 Doom is quite important here. But yeah, at this point, Doom can tank 2 special 2s from Mangog, and with how low health he is, he's not going to get the opportunity to throw 2, so the fight is essentially over here. Throw the Incinerates off with the Double Fury special 2. Not quite going to kill him, but they're going to bring him pretty close to death, and yeah, get him down quite cleanly. Now the final fight of the war is going to be a Knull boss. We're going to be using my rank 4 Sig 200 Symbiote Supreme. And for the most part, the only difficult part of this fight is the start. I need to trigger Dexterity 6 times. So I've got 4, 5, 6 now, but I'm in the corner. End up eating the heavy and the indestructible boost. Luckily he does not go for a second heavy in the corner, and now I basically just need to get some spacing back. He throws a special 2. There's no real reason to Dexterity it because it's just so safe at this point, and now I've cleared all his debuffs, can go for the special 3, and now it's just a case of cycle special 3s, special 2s, and he'll go down. So yeah, at this point, just watch the fight back, and I'll discuss how the war went. So this war, just like the last one, was stupidly close. We were both around 30 fights from the end of the war, and had 2 deaths each. We had actually missed a diversity point, so even on the tiebreak, GT40 would have lost. DSVG ended up dying to, I believe it's around the fight 135, and then pretty much within 2 minutes after that death, we ended up dying again. Then we finished off the map on 3 deaths. At this point it was 3-3, and we would have lost the tiebreak. And yeah, luckily for us, DSVG ended up dying again after that. They died twice, but yeah, this war was way too close for comfort. And yeah, now the Knull boss is about to die. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in War 3.